space. Can you imagine that? Neil Armstrong, instead of planting a flag on Mars,
what are the effects?
Video game.
What are the effects of zero gravity on video games?
Oh, well, let me tell you, the
Can Mario jump higher?
Oh, oh, that's a big fact. Yes, of course Mario can jump higher than zero.
Okay.
And then the next thing that brings us to is, video games. You and I are talking about video games, but what about women? Do women know about video games?
Well,
Has someone clued them in?
They exist. They're around. They play games. Women are.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to let's stop here for a moment because I personally have never seen a woman play a video game.
Have you ever seen a woman?
Let's just go with what I was arguing.
All right.
I have not seen a woman play a video game. Yeah. And when I came to work this morning, I looked everywhere. I looked in the cornfield. I looked on the other side of the road.
You looked under a rock?
No, I did not look under a rock.
Well, there you go.
I looked over the rock as I drove over it. There was not a woman playing a video game on it. So I'm tending to incline to believe that women don't actually play video games. What do you have to say about that?
Well, you got me there. You've never seen it, so that means
I don't think it's true.
Yeah. Well, if you say it's not true, if you've never seen it, then clearly.
Well, have you?
Well, one time.
So you're saying yes?
Yes.
Okay. So what was your evidence? Please, can you recollect the moment that you saw a woman play a video game? Explain in detail. What game was she playing? Was she winning?
Gulp.
How many points did she have?
She was playing the Nintendo and she got a high score on Double Dragon.
Wow.
Yeah.
High score in Double Dragon.
Yeah.
How many points?
3.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So this woman, what other games besides Double Dragon did she like?
None of them.
Well,
she only liked Double Dragon.
Was
yeah.
Well, she didn't like it enough to beat the high score of 3 points.
Well, I'm sorry.
Do you think it'll ever be legal for women to play games in public?
Oh, well.
I mean, is that the way that our society is heading, that someday women will be able to play games in public?
They can't even vote, so I don't see why that would happen.
What if they vote for video games?
But I just said they can't even vote, so why would that happen?
But what if they vote for video games?
Yeah, but
I'm putting the cart before the horse.
Okay, then they're throwing their vote away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I would like to
Don't
see.
you know that their vote only counts for 3/4 of a person?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But it also brings to our next point. What is our next point, by the way? Okay, you saw a woman playing video games. My question is, why aren't there more women playing video games?
Well, it could be. It could just be because they don't make games for women.
Is that what you think it comes to? Do you
well,
think women are allergic to video games?
You're right. They don't make hypoallergenic video games yet. And women, as we all know, whenever they get near a game, their eyes become puffy. They start sneezing, and they start becoming very belligerent.
Yeah, and these are all actual factual medical syndromes that you can look up in some sort of book with words in it that will verify what we're saying.
Here's the link right here.
Yeah, here's the link right here. If you can't see it,
that's your own problem.
Yeah,
it's not ours.
I'm typing it in.
The problem is on your end, not ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Our end is working perfectly. Let me tell you more about our end. So, why can't science figure out a way to get women, so to speak, into the game?
It's probably because science is a boys' club, as they say. You know about the boys' club?
The boy... yes, I've heard of this. But pretend like I'm just a random Joe walking in here from the street. I don't know what a boy is. I don't know what a club is. What is this boys' club you talk about?
Well, have you heard of Boys to Men?
No, I haven't heard of anything. I'm Joe. Okay?
If you've heard of Boys to Men, subtract the men, then you have just the boys in this boys' club.
Okay, well, I'm subtracting 0 from 0 here, so you gotta clue me in.
Well, divide by 0.
I can't. I don't even know what divide is. Just please tell me something about this boys' club.
Well, it's where a bunch of is where a bunch of boys, they all dress alike, they all put on the same hats and
Describe
coats.
the hats.
They're white. They are white hats, and they're very small. And they put on coats that are very big and white, and shoes that are white. They basically dress all in white.
So they're like old people.
And also their skin is white.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what do?
And
like calisthenics? Like calisthenics?
well, no, they discuss they discuss topics
Such as?
Oh, you know, the economy, war, men's stuff, you know.
And then they make the video games.
Well, no, the video games are after like calisthenics.
Okay, so
Yes.
so first you get men wearing hats, discussing politics.
Disgusting.
Light calisthenics, and then they create video games. So that's what you're telling me how the video game industry works.
Well, it happens. All right. They do. You know, they jump around a lot, and then they plug in their computers, and they connect the computers together.
Whoa.
And then they tell the computer to make a game.
And there are no females involved with this, correct?
No, they've been banned.
So women are actually banned from the creation of video games?
Wow, you know, that is a good point. You know, maybe that is why. I thought that it was just because they were keeping them out, but no, they've been banned.
Wow. Who's in charge? Yeah. Why isn't somebody making a difference about this?
Because
I mean,
the president is banned.
Oh, the pieces are starting to fall into place now. So you're saying our president does light calisthenics and then looks the other way when a female can't get into the gaming industry.
Yeah, the president of video games, by the way.
Oh, yeah, CEO video game, Dr. Video Game. Yeah, I forgot about him.
Steve Jobs.
Okay, Steve Jobs is still alive.
Yep.
He's just pulling the puppet strings behind the curtain.
He's yanking those strings. He's pulling arms and legs.
But there's no puppet show, so
he's
it's
pulling
just
your
strings.
legs. You're the one that's had your legs pulled and the wool's been pulled over your eyes.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't like this. Okay, so we've established the fact that at least one woman plays video games, correct? The girl who got 3 on Double Dragon.
I could have been wrong.
No, let's just go with your previous
I could have had a hallucination.
Don't backtrack on this.
Okay.
We have proven facts that at least one woman has played a video game. It was Double Dragon, and she scored 3 points. Okay?
I don't know how she did it, because they're all rounded up by 10.
Yeah, women have ways. That's a Phil Collins song.
She must have been very talented to do that, really.
Truly. If you are, how many people are you? You're just one person, right?
Yeah.
And if one person has seen one woman play a video game, then the odds have to be incredible that at least 2 people have seen one woman play video games.
At least a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
It's almost
possibly
like they're
not the same woman. So there could be tens of women out there playing video games.
At least 5.
Yeah. I mean, they've taken their allergy shots. They can be by the TV screen. So what types of games are these women playing besides Double Dragon?
Pac-Man, Duck Hunt,
Hold on,
Roller
I need to write
Derby.
this down.
Pac-Man, Duck Hunt,
Duck
Hunt, Duck Hunt 3 times.
Duck Hunt.
Yeah, I get it.
Duck
Okay.
Hunt.
Yeah. Roller Derby.
I can't spell.
Disco Doll.
Disco Dog.
No, not dog. Doll.
Doll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disco Ball.
I'll just kind of put
Disco Dog.
2 dots for that. I don't even really want to write the rest of this down, actually.
Okay.
Well, I've heard that there's 2 different kinds of video games these days. There's the kind that you can smell and the kind that you can't. Which do you think women prefer?
The smell kind.
Probably not. I disagree with that. But there's also 2 other kinds.
No, listen. Because their memory is connected to our sense of smell. So when we smell things, we remember happier times.
Yeah, so if you play a game that's burning out and the circuits are being fried, you're like, this is a happier time.
Yeah, this is nostalgia.
Yeah, as it turns to goo in your hand.
I have nostalgia for the time my house burned down.
Yeah, for the hot, intense burning pain being inflicted
and the time our
upon
Christmas tree caught on fire. Yep.
God bless the Griswolds.
God bless our mess.
So, yeah, you got casual games, And you got hardcore video games.
I thought that it was smell and not smell.
Well, yeah, but that's a subset.
Okay, so what you're really getting to is casual versus hardcore. I understand now. All right, casual games are games that you play on your phone, and hardcore games are games that you play on bigger phones.
Okay, so once again, a phone being the mobile television.
Mobile television, yes.
Yeah, for our friends overseas. And bigger phones are the hardcore games. Like, what would be a casual game? I'm trying to think of, like that game where you make the precious jewels drop down, and you try to line them up. And
Angry
then
Birds.
a fairy says, "Good job."
Yep.
And the king of fairies comes out and says, "I crown you king of points." Or queen of points.
That's Angry Birds.
Yeah, that's Angry Birds all in a nutshell, seriously.
It's about jewels and a fairy that gives you points.
Uh-huh. And the opposite, of course, being hardcore games, which would be like...
those are...
Double Dragon.
Well, no, Double Dragon is casual. You're talking about Dungeon Guys.
Oh, Dungeon Guys. Yeah, that's a hardcore game where you have to put them all in the dungeon, say, like, you know,
well,
sort
everyone
this shit
in the
out.
dungeon, you get experience points.
Now, for our
you raise
fans
to
out
another
there
level.
For our fans out there who aren't familiar with terms like levels and experience points, can you explain what both of those things are?
Levels are tiers where
I've
that
got
you
plenty
climb.
of those every night.
Yeah. Okay. not tiers like they come out of your eyes. I mean like steps, you know, but you climb up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with your feet. You go up and down stairs, you know.
Okay.
And that's what levels are. Levels are like you're going up the stairs and you get higher and higher each time you take a step.
Again, I do that every night as well.
Yes.
And what are experience points?
Well, experience points are the points that you get for getting over certain stair steps.
Okay, that's all exciting and great. And that's all hardcore, right?
That is what the hardcore is about. Is about experience points and levels.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
I heard about this game in the news recently. It's called Call of
Masters.
Yeah, Call of Masters.
Yes.
Thought it was a golf game, but I thought wrong.
No.
You get to shoot innocent civilians in a Russian airport. What do you think about that? Is that casual?
It's a casual hardcore experience.
Well, you casually walk through the mall, or the airport.
Yeah.
So I would say that's definitely a casual game.
A casual hardcore experience.
Yeah, and you can't be killed during the series.
No.
So you just massacre these innocent civilians. So is this what women really want? To kill innocent civilians in Russia?
They kind of do.
Well, then, so why are they letting women have such an impact on my gaming ability? If all they want to do is mow down Russian civilians?
Because there's
no clear answer to this, is there?
I guess you're right. I concede.
You know, and that brings up another interesting topic: misogyny.
Oh no!
What does the word even mean?
I don't know.
Because I hear it bandied about. You know, you're being misogynist.
I looked it up in a dictionary and forgot.
I looked it up in a dictionary, but I could not find the dictionary. And then when I did find it, I was too lazy to open it. So it's anyone's guess as to what misogyny is and if it exists.
I set my dictionary on fire.
Yeah, well, it's always good to burn the books that may possibly offend you.
Yeah. I hate words, you know.
I hate words. I hate art. I don't trust a lot of things.
Women.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. You can throw women on the pile. Okay, so this leads us to the main topic that we were talking about. John Madden getting smaller as you approach him. How does he do it?
It's definitely got to be a form of osmosis.
Yeah. Or as they say, Dr. Osmosis.
Yes.
So you get closer to him, but Dr. Oz gets closer to you.
The water gets displaced.
Yeah, the water gets displaced, John Madden gets tinier, Dr. Oz gets bigger.
Dr. Oz is the sun, and he gets larger.
Son of no one.
And the sun will one day engulf us all. In 5 million years.
A fitting end to all. But we still have to get on this topic of Gamergate, because it is just... I read CNN this morning. You know what the headline was?
What?
I I don't know. I think
on,
like
Joe.
a kid was in a well or something. Or ISIS or something. I don't know, but...
He was in an icy well?
Yeah, he was in an icy well. If you skip down about 48 links, it said, Gamergate, no one will shut up about it. And I thought, wow, that would be a good idea to not shut up about. Yeah. And so that's why we're talking about Gamergate. Now, pretend like I'm some average Joe, okay? I just had my entire brain removed. And you found my lifeless corpse on the side of the street. And I have a pin on my shirt that says, tell me about Gamergate. What would you say to me?
I'd say get back in the grave, buddy. What are you doing out here?
Dude, I'm a free man. I can roll where I want to roll.
Roll. You just go where the wind takes you then.
Yeah, I'm a windswept man.
A nice gust pulls you along the street.
Yeah, it'd have to be a pretty heavy gust, actually. But tell me, what is Gamergate? Just break it down to me.
All right. Well, it's about ethics and gaming journalism. Mm-hmm.
What else?
That's it.
It's just ethics and gaming journalism. That's all.
Yep. Well, that and making sure women aren't allowed to voice their opinions on video games. But that's just one person's opinion.
Well, we've already covered that because women are allergic to video games.
That's just one person's opinion, though.
Okay. Well, what's the second person's opinion?
The second person's opinion is that the first person's full of shit.
Okay. Well, I'll be that second person because I feel that you're full of shit.
Wow.
On multiple occasions. I mean, I think game journalism is corrupt. What do you think about that?
I think that it is.
Yeah, you have to argue against me. That's how it works.
I'm sorry. Okay, game journalism is not corrupt then.
Okay, excellent. We've got the debate part of this rolling along quite well. I'd like to take a moment to promote our sponsor, eCyber Elves Online. If you're ever looking for elves online, cyber reality style, eCyber Elves Online is your go-to place to go to.
Are you a man person who becomes tired of dating online services? Do you give up everything for hopes of love, cyber reality style? Well, now you don't. Forget the past, we have your future, and your future is elves. Online elves. Can you kiss the cyber elf? Yes, you can try for a chance. We have all the elves, teacher elves, neighbor elves, misdeed elves, elves from a fancy kingdom. Do you want to visit an elf kingdom? Yes, you do. Cyber Elf Kingdom is where you can kiss an elf. Please make yourself surly and leap online to Cyber Elf Kingdom. You will fall in love with elves all over again for the very first time. Cyber Elf Kingdom.
Okay, we're back. That was great. What were we talking about again?
Okay, we were talking about...
We were debating. Yeah. I know we were doing that.
Okay, yes, it was a debate. It was not a... We're not joking here. This is not, silly time.
No.
This is a serious debate about video games, journalistic ethics, women, ballparks, and John Madden.
And it is my opinion... Well, I'm not going to go with the John Madden opinion, but it's my opinion that video game journalism is perfect the way it is. I mean, corrupt.
Okay, yes.
No, it was corrupt.
Yeah, don't forget that. Yeah.
I forgot that. Okay.
You forgot.
Let me give you some facts, okay?
Okay.
And I did some research.
Oh, boy.
Here's some facts.
Take it away, David Letterman.
Here we go.
Come on.
Okay. A woman had sex with a man.
Yep.
Video games.
Yeah.
And your retort is?
Well, she clearly had sex with too many men.
Well, but what about the video games part?
Oh, the video games.
See, you're not separating the cart from the horse on this issue, sir.
Whoopsie daisy. Oopsie doodle. Sex.
Yeah.
And video games don't mix. Nerds don't like to have sex, so they get very angry when a woman uses her body to have sex for video games, and that means it's time to ban the woman from ever making games again.
What if the woman is actually a straw man argument in the fact that she's made out of straw?
Well,
And
I'll tell you
men
right
fuck the
now
straw
that
man.
she's not a man, so she can't be a straw man.
Women can be straw man just as well as men can be straw man. This is
another piece of Tumblr liberal propaganda. You know, I'm so tired of hearing this. I'm so tired of hearing how women can be men straws, men of straw, and men can be made of goo.
Hey, the Pope came out the other day and said we accept gay and lesbians shortly before he said they don't. So, I mean, that gives you more of a window to advance a straw man argument. So she had sex with men. That's what her name was. Zway Quinn. Her name was Zway Quinn. She had sex with. Okay, I got a number here.
Kawoopy is what her name is.
I've got a number here.
Don't get it wrong.
She had sex with five. Count them, 5 men.
Yeah.
And that's corrupt. How can one woman have sex with 5 men? I mean, she's got like 2 hands, 2 feet, 1 vagina. How 5 men? I don't see how that works.
I forget what your point is. I forget which side you're on.
It's corrupt.
Okay.
I think it's corrupt. I think it's corrupt that one woman should have sex with 5 men while she's programming her video game, and you think that's perfectly fine. Explain.
Because it's just it's someone having sex.
Yeah, you're just having sex, but you cannot code a video game properly while you're having sex with 5 men. It's just not possible.
Well,
I tried it with 3 men, and the game came out shit.
I don't think you can do it at the same time, but I don't think that's what she was doing.
Well, it never said that they were explicitly at different times. I mean, granted, I did not look up the information.
Well, how do we even know that she had sex with 5 men, though?
Because I read it on the internet.
Oh, okay, phew.
Yeah.
All right, so you got me there. Okay, thank God. I was worried for a minute that you were gonna, throw a curveball,
No, I got my facts straightened up, and you can back up these facts.
I do back them up. I just backed them up right now.
Okay, well, that's fine. I've got to say that I want to go back to my recreation of Moon Patrol.
Yes.
Didn't turn out well. It was going to be Moon Patrol 2 for the Atari 5200. It was a project of love and liberty.
And loss.
Yeah, and loss, because that's I had to just stop it. It didn't work. I did not have enough free time.
No love lost there.
Yeah. So you've seen a real woman play a video game, and what was your reaction? No, we have to go back to that subject again. Because
no, that was my reaction. Ugh.
Okay, yeah.
I just could not believe that her boobies were just flopping all over the place, and she was saying like, "I'm a woman and I love to have sex," and I was like, "Well, I don't like to have sex. That's dumb. I play video games instead. Take that." And she was like, "Oh, I'm on my period or something." Because that's what women do.
Yeah, women, they sure do those things, don't they?
Yeah. They complain and then they have bad times.
Bad times online. Yeah. Are you sure she was actually playing the game and it wasn't just like an MP4? That's the $1 million question, because she could have been snookering you.
She definitely was not snookering me.
Okay, well, she could have been pulling a fast one on you.
Well, she wasn't.
Could have been bamboozled, I'm saying.
Okay, bamboozled,
Might
definitely.
have been hornswoggled.
Not hornswoggled.
Okay. Well, with that in mind, I'm going to say that she might not have actually been playing a game. Therefore, no woman has actually played a video game. Because think of it this way, okay?
I don't think women have sex either, because I asked her to have sex with me and she said no.
So how did you ask her?
I said, "Hey, you're playing a video game. I like video games." Did
you refer to her as baby?
No.
Well, there's your first wrong move.
Well, you're the one that's going to be wrong in a minute when I throw a garbage can in your house.
I'll still be right. I'll just be filthy.
Okay.
Okay, so in the 80s, if you remember back that far, there's a game called Daryl. Do you remember that game? It was an acronym. It stood for like Driving Rascals.
Driving around rascals.
Driving around rascally.
You
loser.
You loser.
And in that game, he could play pole position real well. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, Daryl, play pole position. And then it was like, it was like hauling ass all over the track at speeds.
Scooting all over the place.
Scooting all over the joint.
He was wearing tennis shoes.
But this leads me to a greater point. How come you don't see more TV shows or movies where women are playing video games? I mean, if anybody can make this something, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
So why don't we see this?
The technology has not caught up with us yet.
In what ways?
Our technology has not caught up with our imagination.
Well, you can make CG women, you can make CG video games.
Yeah, but you see, listen, if James Cameron can't do it, then nobody can. So, there you go.
Well, for all we know, one half the Titanic, was just a big video game parlor, and all the women fled there, and they're, when they were drowning to their deaths of drowning meant, they're like, let's kill some time with some video games. We don't know that, do we?
Well, like I said, our technology has not gotten us to that point yet, so there's been no way to have a woman play a video game at the same time in CG real-time video television screens in the theater. Yep.
That's sad, really, because I, for one, would be willing to pay $10 to ask somebody if they know somebody else who saw the movie and what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't understand why we can't get more women playing video games on the silver screen. It's a real tragedy because
politics.
My daughter came out the other day and she said, "Daddy, why can't we watch a movie about a woman playing a video game?" And I was like, I don't know. Technology hasn't caught up yet. And we just wept for the next hour. So, do you think that the fact that women can't play video games is something that would be filed under misogyny?
Yeah.
A term we both don't know how to define.
We don't even know what it is.
Yeah, so I guess it's a definite maybe.
I think, but I do know what misandry is.
Misandry?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, what's that?
Well, that's where women use their powers and wiles to trick men.
Oh, okay. Yep. Well, then why don't they trick men into making a game for women?
Well, because men are just too smart for that.
Oh.
They can't be hornswoggled.
Yeah. Not a victim of bamboozlement. I gotcha.
Men are boys and they're too smart.
Okay, and the fourth point in this triangle known as Gamergate is games journalism. You might be familiar with that because you used to write for that gaming triangle. You wrote for GamePro, Cyber Athlete Online.
GamePro, sponsored by Ugo.
Ugo and eFront.
Back in 1989.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Blue's Clues News.
Yep.
And you covered all the hot competitions.
I sure did.
Of Doom 2, Deathmatch, Lithium.
Doom 1.
There was a Doom 1?
Yeah.
There was a Doom 1.
Doom 1.
Right? And you covered all the matches.
Doom 1 came after Doom 2. It was a prequel.
Yeah, it was retro.
Yep.
So you're well versed in this. Can you tell me a little bit about games journalism and the games journalism scene? Yeah, just crack your knuckles.
Well, it all started back in 1983 when somebody said we need to start covering video games.
And then they covered them up with blankets. Because it was raining.
Yes, that's right. You did your research, it seems.
And then they moved them inside, and then they forgot to reopen.
And then the video games caught smallpox for a while. And then there were no video games after, from 1983 to 1985.
Because we gave them all to the Native Americans and attached a note that says, "Don't give them to the broads."
And then Sega came around. And Sega was like, well, here's more games. And then James Kernalism said, that sounds great. And they started covering Sonic.
Yeah.
With blankets.
And yeah, they covered Sonic with blankets to slow him down. So he would actually be competition for Nintendo.
Exactly.
And Nintendo's mascot, as you'll remember, was Cool Spot.
Cool Spot from 7-Up.
Yep. Cool Spot and Luigi.
And
Tag team partners.
And Luigi, yes.
Yeah, and Cool Spot and Luigi never really got the critical acclaim that Sonic did, because if we recall, Sonic has had roughly 47 different games, whereas Cool Spot has had...
Sonic still comes out with video games, and they're very critically acclaimed.
Every single one of them, yeah.
Every new one that comes out, people say, this is the best Sonic game yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, they had Sonic Catch That Eggman. That's one of them.
Throw the eggs off the hill.
Sonic and the Silver Spoon. Sonic and Tails Take Tokyo.
Yep.
Sonic Crazy Taxi.
Sonic Takes a Nap.
Sonic No Women Allowed. That was one of the... that was actually due to the allergens.
Yeah.
Because the carts actually had allergens all over them.
They were filled with hedgehog hair.
Yeah, hedgehog hair. Women don't like the hedgehog hair.
Women aren't into hedge hair.
It's called a hedge fun for men. And you guys actually didn't report on all this, did you?
Well, no.
Because give me a glimpse of behind the scenes.
Part of the blanket thing was to fool women into thinking nothing was going wrong. So we would put blankets over stuff so that they wouldn't even know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess one day a woman peeked under the blankets and then ruined it for all the men out there. And now women want to know why they can't be part of the boys' club. That's
a tragic tale at best. You know, if you could turn back time...
one woman ruined it for everybody.
Yep, that's right.
Gloria Steinem.
Mm-hmm. If you could turn back time, would you claim that the blankets were actually ghosts instead of disease-filled arcade cabinets?
If I could turn back time...
Because women are afraid of ghosts. Disease, they can probably tackle.
Women are very superstitious, and they're afraid of haunted houses and ghosts and spirits.
Yeah, that's why you say it's an old wives' tale.
Exactly.
You don't say it's an old hubby's tale.
You know, if you ever watch like an old black and white movie, it's like women are always like, oh, a ghost, and then they run out of the house screaming.
And the man's like, no, it has to be something logical, like a hammer.
Of course, they were played by men back then, and they were wearing, woman face.
They were wearing, woman face. Yeah, that's true.
They're like, this house is haunted, and then they would run out, and then the man would be like, you stupid woman.
And it would be the same guy. He would be furiously wiping the woman off his face.
Wiping the woman paint from his face.
Let me get the woman right off my face. But what I'm trying to get at here is when you're working at a professional gaming review magazine, you left out certain facts, didn't you?
Well, I left out all the facts.
Well, okay, I'm glad you're coming clean with this. So why should I, as a video game player, trust your opinion then if you leave out so many facts?
Because we are getting paid by the game companies to review their games.
That is a good point. But tell me one reason why I shouldn't believe you, okay? You've been getting...
Okay, here's the thing. We've been getting money from video game companies to leave good reviews on their games.
Uh-huh.
But suddenly, a woman used sex to get good review.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's time to care. Now it's time to care because it wasn't the time to care before. But corruption is rampant now. So now we have to punish this woman, all women really, because they're always trying to ruin things for true nerds. That's TRU.
Yeah.
And they're trying to basically just ruin our fun. We want to play games where women explode and we chop their heads off and we put vaginas all over them.
Uh-huh.
And women are like, could you please stop that? And we're like, oh my god, censorship, free speech, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Men's rights.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Yeah, saying hello is very critical to the men's rights argument.
Yeah.
But this is the problem that I have when it comes down to video game scores and reviews from trusted professional outlets.
You mean like Metascore and Round Critic?
Yeah, like Round Critic, the fat man who gives you his reviews based off how fat he is.
Ain't it cool games?
Not round enough. Too
this
many
cartridge
corners.
is too square.
And then he opens it up and he sees the actual disc inside.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
it's only discs.
It was round. 10 out of 10 again. You know, I just feel like I can't trust traditional media anymore. So I have to go to other sources like Ouija boards to find out what the score of a game should be.
You should be using Wiki boards.
Oh, well, not since they leaked these scores for the next 9 Madden games. I don't trust
never mind
it.
then.
I go to Ouija boards to get the review scores for all the hottest upcoming games. And some people go to YouTube. Have you ever heard of that channel?
No.
Well, I have, and people can voice their opinions and have videos where they talk about video games on there.
Oh, you mean like, Karate-o?
Like what?
Karate-o, he's a very popular YouTube star.
Karate Ho?
Karate-o.
Yeah, well, I could be talking about him.
Yeah.
I'm talking more
And
about
Pamplemousse?
Bus Barn Boy 32.
Oh, well, those are the lesser known.
I'm talking about Goku Fan 28.
Well,
and
he's a like a celebrity. He's not even he's not a YouTube star. He's actually on TV.
and Pish Posh Glamour.
Well,
Pish Posh
he's got the
Glamour.
most subscribers of any YouTube channel.
He does. He
Yep.
does. Because, you know, he's doing it right. And those are the guys that I trust for my video game reviews. They do the Let's Plays, you know, and they're like, hey, I can't open this fucking door. Ha ha ha. Ah, I'm so scared. And then I'm like, this game's got my interest. So that's why I think there's corruption in the industry, and that's why I think that we have to turn to YouTube for a superior alternative. But back to Gamergate. Since we want to
really?
go back. Yeah,
Oh.
we want to go back. Okay.
Shit.
I read on CNN, which, as you know, is a website dedicated to video games.
Yeah, video
that
games
people,
journalism.
Yeah, people are being harassed.
Well, that's blown way out of proportion.
Really, because
No.
I've had some harassment on my end.
Yeah.
I've been harassed personally by somebody who called me a name I won't repeat.
Well, listen, no one's ever harassed me.
I'll harass you right
Yeah.
now.
Well, it won't count because you're just doing it because I said no one's ever harassed me.
Well, but it's still harassment.
No, it's not. Okay, oh, I get it. More of this social justice warrior bullshit. Okay, listen. Whenever somebody gets harassed, suddenly they start attacking the harassers, you know. But, well, excuse me, but it's not my fault.
Yeah, won't somebody stand up for the harassers?
Yeah.
I mean, they're going out of their way to harass people. You can at least say, hey, you know, you're taking our time to, you know, do a
Yeah,
job.
why don't you debate us on the facts instead of bullying us, huh?
Yeah, what are the facts?
Yeah. Woman sex video game.
Woman sex video game is a fact. Women are allergic to video games.
Corruption.
Corruption is a
Yeah.
fact, yeah.
Game corruption.
And if you debate me incorrectly, I will post your home address and I will kill you. And I think that's fair because there should be some sort of
Free
barrier
speech.
to enter.
Free speech.
Yeah, free speech is allowed.
Freedom of speech.
But to be honest,
Unless you have an opposing viewpoint
to be
to mine.
completely honest for a second here, there needs to be a barrier of entry to debate. And I think having your life taken away is a very good barrier of entry.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about video games, and this is a very serious subject to many, you should be willing to part with your life if you have the incorrect opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Kill me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So we're on the same page in this.
I guess so. We're on the second page.
So death threats, perfectly fine. But what kind of language do you think is also acceptable to use when explaining your distaste for, you know, an opinion?
Hell, damn, ass, fuck, shit,
Yeah,
pecker.
pecker is a good one. Like, your pecker is bad at games. Your
Vagina.
hell is bad at... Vagina is a good one if you know the person speaking is a female. Because then you just say, oh, well, it looks like you're speaking out of your vagina again.
Or you can call them a pussy.
And
you
they
know?
can't really reply to that without showing you a video of them speaking in words coming out of their mouth and not their vagina.
Yeah.
And even if they did that, that could be CG.
That's, well, yeah, they're clearly, you know, that's just trickery.
Yeah, you know women, they like to trick you.
They are tricksters. Women
Yeah.
are known for tricking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you think that, you know, it's a woman, and then you get home with her, and then she's tricked you, and she's a clown.
Yeah, or she's
Yeah.
made out of straw.
Exactly.
The old straw man argument.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something before, social justice warrior. What exactly is an SJW?
Well, they're the worst, you know, because
Oh, I hate the worst. Go on.
Because, you know, they're always calling for justice all the time, you know, even in places where it doesn't warrant it, like when people get harassed needlessly. You know, it's like, excuse me, buddy, didn't mean to offend you.
Well, not to back up for a second, but let's back up for a second. Explain to me a situation where someone is needlessly harassed. Just think of one when somebody's needlessly harassed.
Well, there isn't a time. That's just something that they say. They just
Okay.
say that they're needlessly harassed, but listen, there's a point to all this, and
Yeah.
we care, and video games care,
Uh-huh.
gamers care. I mean, we just want to. The reason that we go after people is because they're corrupt and they're evil, and gamers are pure, and they are a heaven's mist, and they have a glow about them, and you can't just, you know, and children and
Oh, children are the youngest of them all.
and Christianity and
Yeah.
God in the Bible.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Was that the end of the sentence?
Well, also, you know, perhaps you've heard of Not Your Shield.
I have. Could you explain that to me? Because I frankly don't get it.
Well, clearly, all these people who are complaining about games are not really women and people of color. So, women and people of color say that they are pro Gamergate, and they're not your shield. You can't pretend that you can't use them as a shield against Gamergate because they're not your shield.
Well, when you say people of
Yes.
color, are you referring to anybody who's not a ghost?
Yeah, I'm referring to people that have pigmentation
So we're talking about ghosts versus non-ghosts.
from peach to brown to green to purple.
What about red?
That's not real. There are no red people.
There are red people.
Well, better red than
Well-read
dead.
people. Like a professor.
Better red than dead.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, there's your ghost comment.
Well,
Bringing it back to ghosts.
Man,
again.
this is complex. Okay,
Yeah.
so it sounds like there's multiple agendas here.
Yeah, there are, and it's all and everybody's wrong.
They're all wrong.
Yeah,
Well,
everybody's wrong because
I think I'm right.
well, clearly you're wrong because you have picked a side.
Uh-huh. I picked the right side, though.
No, well, let me tell you something. I am too scared to have an opinion, buddy, so everybody's wrong.
Okay, well, think about it this way.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, and this is my opinion, and I've already backed it up with numerous proofs. You know, the first one being, in the 20 minutes that it took for me to drive down here, I did not see a single woman playing video games. And I looked. I
Yeah.
actually spent time looking. I saw some woman using her phone, but she was dialing numbers.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that she wasn't playing a game called Dial the Numbers. So I walked up to her and I said, "Are you playing video games on your tiny PC
You walked up to her as you were driving.
TV screen there?"
Yeah.
And she rolled up the window on me. And but she mouthed something that said, "No, I'm not playing video games."
Yeah.
And also it rhymed with fucker. So I firmly don't believe women play video games. And I believe that when they try to, they don't do very well.
Well, despite my earlier assessment that I don't have opinions, I do agree with you on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because your experience has been limited to
Yeah.
a woman getting a high score of 3 in Double
Yeah.
Dragon.
And she was actually made of straw, though.
Yeah,
We've
and she was
established that.
playing
We've proved it
and
with
she was
science.
playing an MP4
and-
file of Double
yes,
Dragon.
we've proved it with science and facts and coverage.
So then the only
blankets.
real women that we've discussed would be the one who had sex with 5 people while trying to code a game.
Yeah.
And that's just poor process. I mean, you can't even get a good enough chair to support your lumbar area. to do that.
That's true.
So how do these SJWs want to change the culture so more women can do what they want to do, their nefarious purposes?
I guess
do they want to change our chairs?
Yeah.
Okay, so the big picture here is sex chairs.
Is sex? Yeah, that's what social justice warriors are most concerned about. Chairs where you can have lots of sex on the chairs.
So it's sex chair justice warrior.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've broken down the term.
That's what the S stands for.
Okay, yeah. That all makes sense to me. And all this has naturally attracted a lot of mainstream media.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've read the articles.
Like Google.
Yeah, Google's something. What do you think the mainstream media has gotten right, and what do you think they've gotten wrong?
Well, I think that they've reported on big things, and I think they've reported on medium-sized things, but they haven't reported on the small things.
That's true.
Yeah.
What about Sonic Warrior?
Sonic Warrior is not related to...
To Sonic Warrior.
Sonic Warrior is not related to... That's SW.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I read a report on MSNBC that said Gamergate, what it's all about. I stopped reading there. Because I figured that's all the information it had to give me. But the point that I took away from it is that feminism and SJWs are having a role in shaping a message. What message would that be?
Roles.
Let's end on this. What message would that be?
Roles. Lots of roles.
Rules. Lots of rules.
Roles, not rules. Roles.
Oh, roles.
Yeah, more roles for everybody.
Okay, like what?
Like hot ones. Garlic.
Okay, I just looked
butter.
up misogyny while you're talking about garlic, and it said something about when men and women aren't equal, which, I mean, this is like, 2014.
Yeah.
Do we really need to, old antiquated terms like that now?
Exactly.
So
I agree with all your stuttering and laughter.
yeah, thank you. So why is misogyny still a valid topic?
Tumblr.
Fuck that.
Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it is.
I'd like to take a moment for one of our sponsors, Cyber Elf Kingdom.
Yeah.
Again, if you're looking for an elf of your dreams, and those dreams have to be dreams of elves, Cyber Elf Kingdom is where you want to go to get the cyber elves of your dreams.
Are you a man who's become tired of online dating services? Have you given up all hope of finding love cyber reality style? Well, now you don't have to. Forget the past, because we have your future, and your future is elves. Online elves. Can you kiss the cyber elf? Yes, you can try for a chance. We have all the elves. Teacher elves, neighbor elves, misdeed elves, elves from a fancy kingdom. Do you want to visit an elf kingdom? Yes, you do. Cyber Elf Kingdom is where you can kiss an elf. Please make yourself comfy and leap online to Cyber Elf Kingdom. You'll fall in love with elves all over again for the very first time. Cyber Elf Kingdom.
Okay, so the talking points for this show
You forgot to put your
The
microphone.
first talking point for the show is leave your mic on when you're speaking with the microphone.
God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this again. The talking points for this show are
Straw,
women.
women made of straw. They're not real. They don't play video games. There's a boys' club, and it's made of men.
Like calisthenics are
Like
involved.
calisthenics. Steve Jobs.
Still alive. He's the puppet master.
John Madden. Forget him.
Yeah, you can't approach John Madden. He just gets farther away.
Yes, exactly. The closer you get to him, the farther away he looks.
And that's not just an analogy. This is actual science in motion.
Yeah.
What else?
Getting blown in the breeze.
Allergies, getting blown in the breeze, and
Sonic is a warrior.
Sonic is a lawyer.
Is a lawyer.
Yeah. And I think that pretty much summarizes it all. Is there anything that you'd like to fill in with? Great. That was a great Gamergate debate. I'm not sure who won. I'm not actually sure we were debating.
I think we were just sort of joking around, actually.
No, I wasn't joking.
You weren't joshing?
No.
Were you riching?
No, I was. All this was for reals.
Oh.
But I'm glad we got this settled, and nobody will ever again have to read about Gamergate.
Yeah, no one will ever get harassed again.
No, because
people definitely will not be saying fucked up shit to me whenever I speak about it ever again, because now they know my stance. And I think that if I agree with these people, then
you have the right opinion.
Then I'll have the right opinion.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, this actually brings me to a legitimate point. If it's so easy to have the right opinion, why do so many people have the wrong ones?
Misandry.
Okay, there you go. The end.
The end. I love you. Good night.
It's 1 o'clock.
But I'm going to bed because I'm sleepy.
Okay.
because this debate has made me weary.
Okay. Well, good night then.
Oh, you're welcome.